At the beginning of the film, we observe Marnie, who decides to record a video about her studies. From the beginning of high school, the unkempt girl with braces, acne, and glasses is subjected to universal ridicule. Marnie's brother Will, in contrast to her, enjoys everyone's support and respect. The girl is bullied most of all by the rather popular JJ, who loves to mock those who are different from her. Marnie says that studying at school was a torture for her. In the evenings, she goes up to the treehouse. The brother tries to support Marnie and repeats that she is wonderful, but she just needs to become more confident. After a while, the girl finally removes her braces, puts on her lenses, and feels that she has become a different person. Marnie now works at a successful PR agency where she is appreciated and respected. The girl also gets a promotion and becomes vice president of the company. Soon, Marnie flies home to celebrate her brother's future wedding. On the plane, the girl calls her mother and says that she is very happy that she will see everyone soon. Gail, Marnie's mother, tells that a lot of money was spent on the wedding. The woman also mentions that Marnie went to high school with Will's fiancée. The girl is horrified to realize that Joanna is JJ, the same girl who poisoned her all through high school and ruined her life. Marnie freaks out at this news and spends the rest of the flight in the back seat with her hands tied. Soon the flight ends and Gail meets her daughter. Marnie is not particularly happy to see her mom and her little brother, but she hides it skillfully. Soon the girl gets to her room and learns that she will be staying with Joanna. In addition, Marnie finally sees Will, who offers to introduce her to his fiancée. Joanna's beauty literally dazzles the girl. When the bride starts talking about Marnie, the girl tries to stop her from discussing their past in front of everyone. However, Joanna pretends that they just met, which shocks the girl. The bride behaves so friendly that Marnie becomes uncomfortable because she remembers her completely different. At dinner, the girl is very angry that the whole family is just excited about Joanna. The bride reveals that after school, she lost her parents and started working as a nurse, realizing that she had been behaving inappropriately. However, still, Joanna pretends that she doesn't remember Marnie and the way she behaved with her at school. At dinner, the girl gets very upset and walks out. Gail talks to Marnie and says that it is worth forgetting about what happened at school, as Joanna has forgotten. Her mother thinks that the girl should try to love Will's fiancée, as she is now a different person. Soon, Joanna's aunt comes to visit. Gail is shocked, as she recognizes her school friend in her. During the prom, for some unknown reason, she pushed Marnie's mom into the pool in her dress. Ramona instantly charms everyone, including Marnie, and it turns out that she owns incredibly popular hotels for film stars. Over an ongoing dinner, the now Gail is stressed that Ramona talks to everyone as if they are best friends. By chance, it turns out that Joanna was doing a cheerleading number at school that Gail made up. Together, they decide to perform it in front of the guests, which makes Marnie instantly upset, because she remembers how during one of the performances, she fell down because of Joanna's fault and ruined the match. That evening, in the bedroom, the girl shows Joanna an old photo of herself. The bride continues to claim that she doesn't remember much about school because of the tragedy with her parents. Marnie decides to go up to the treehouse, where her younger brother is already sitting. The girl ends up falling asleep there. In the morning, Marnie again sees the whole family communicating with the bride, so friendly, as if she had replaced their daughter. During a trip to his grandmother's house, Will reveals that he proposed to Joanna in the treehouse, and that after the wedding, he will give it to his beloved and move it to his new home. Marnie is shocked, as they built this house with her father, and it should remain a part of their family history. As the car drives past the school, Marnie ironically reminisces about some cheerleader who dated a bunch of guys and pulled money out of everyone. These words make Joanna visibly pulls a long face. In retaliation, the bride puts on Quinn's song, to which she and her friends once carried Marnie out of school. At a special gesture, the girl suddenly realizes that Joanna actually remembers her and is just skillfully pretending to be good and kind. At her grandmother's house, Marnie helps with her dentures and messes up her hair. Just before class, the girl talks to Joanna and tells her that she's blundered on a song and gesture. Suddenly, Tim appears in front of them and is shocked to hear about Will's wedding. The guy mentions that he and Joanna used to date. This gives Marnie food for thought, because she is ready to do anything to repay the one who ruined her life and is now going to enter her family and take her place. Ramona also comes to the dance class, which immediately upsets Marnie's mom. Gail reminds herself that people can change and shouldn't be judged by old mistakes. A dance teacher and steward at a wedding introduces his assistant Tim after an extravaganza number. Georgia offers to choreograph a Brazilian dance and begins the lesson. Marnie is rehearsing alone when Will's friend appears in the studio. The girl liked Charlie very much at school, but now she tries to act as if she doesn't remember him. Soon, the lesson turns into a dance battle, with Marnie competing against Joanna and Gail against Ramona. The dance eventually ends, with Mum falling for her husband and Marnie. At home, the girl tells Ben that Ramona is actually pretending to be good. Marnie wants to save Will from marrying a bad man and asks her younger brother to help. To begin with, the girl decides to talk to Will alone. However, the dialogue has to be conducted at a jogging track, which is also joined by Charlie. Gail, meanwhile, decides to talk to her ex-friend about the past. Going up to her bathroom, Marnie's mother decides to try on her earrings and accidentally drops them in the sink. After getting soaked, Gail still retrieves the jewelry and returns to Joanna's aunt. Ramona also offers to forget about the past, then returns to the phone. Meanwhile, Marnie fails to get the message that Joanna is not who she seems to be. Trying to catch up with the guys, the girl falls into an anthill and gets many bites. This causes a real commotion at home. Soon, due to forelock, bite marks, and glasses instead of lenses, Marnie begins to look the same as she did in high school. Gail tries to be supportive of her daughter and reminds her that none of this is forever. Joanna's bachelorette party arrives. Marnie feels awkward about her appearance and the circumstances. Her grandmother tries to comfort the girl and tells her that you can't look back all the time. Marnie decides to have a serious talk with fiancé. However, Joanna is not going to apologize for her past actions. Because of this, Marnie decides to act together with her younger brother. At the wedding rehearsal, Gail shows up in a stunning dress. Her triumph is momentarily diminished when Ramona shows up in the same outfit. Meanwhile, Joanna asks why Tim is coming to the party, and Marnie fake sadly says she called him because she didn't want to go alone. When the girl sits down at the table, she is joined by Charlie, who is quite interested in the conversation. The pleasant conversation is interrupted by Tim, who wants to sit down in his seat. Meanwhile, Joanna talks to her aunt and says that she made a mistake in the past. Ramona recommends not to blame yourself, because everyone has such cases in life. The main thing is to cope with them and not to commit such acts again. Soon, at the rehearsal, those who wish can make a toast. Forward immediately comes Tim, who tells that after college he and Joanna wanted to get married, but the girl didn't come at the last moment. Will's father tries to smooth over the awkward moment by including a gift video from the bridesmaids. Will himself is angry that Joanna hid her relationship with Tim from him. Looking at the screen of the video, the bride turns pale because it is one of the school archives. On it, Joanna behaves horribly, mocking and humiliating the losers. It makes even her Aunt Ramona's face change. Will turns off the video after noticing Joanna mocking his sister on it. The guy says that he doesn't seem to know his fiancée at all, then leaves. The parents are very worried about Will, as he doesn't even answer Charlie's calls. After learning that the video was put up by Marnie, the father silently goes to the car. The girl decides to talk to Joanna, says that this wouldn't have happened if she had apologized straight away. Eventually, a confrontation happens between the girls. Marnie says she doesn't want such a terrible liar to be part of her family. In retaliation, Joanna douses the girl, and Will sees this. The guy says he's terribly disappointed, and the bride runs after him. At the same time, two other high school friends are sorting things out. Ramona says she was jealous of Gail, who always excelled at everything. That's why she pushed Gail into the pool when she went on a date with a guy Ramona herself liked. The friends finally make up right in the pool, where they fell in during the argument. At night, Marnie hears a noise and goes to the kitchen. There, the girl sees Joanna, who is sadly eating sweets in her wedding dress. The bride admits that she should have apologized to Marnie straight away, but didn't do so because she was very afraid that Will and his family would turn their backs on her after finding out how nasty she had been in the past. Joanna finally apologizes to the girl and says that she doesn't know how she can go on without Will, as he is avoiding her. Marnie realizes that she must help the loving hearts to unite. The girl catches up with Will while jogging and apologizes for the video. Marnie explains that she only wanted to protect her brother. However, Joanna has really changed, and she is very fond of Will. The couple reconcile in the treehouse, however fall off it because of Ben, who decides to unscrew the bolts. Marnie throws a surprise for the couple. Their wedding takes place right in the hospital, and she is the one who walks Joanna down the aisle. Charlie suggests Marnie to dance together, and it's clear to see from him that he likes the girl. Marnie's grandmother, meanwhile, sees Joanna's grandmother and turns gloomy. They've been rivals in the past, too. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.